Hi, hello, welcome to the Daily Tarot Buffet brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. We were sent to deliberate the findings for the transiting moon into Aries, which is a special event since we're in Aries season. That's a first house. Spirit, karma, life path, destiny shifting around and changing. There's going to be a realigning, a resyncing. There might be a mission change, especially with Aries, especially with the first house. So when it's Aries season, the sun rises in the Aries constellation, typically about 29 to 30 days. So from give or take on or about the 22nd of March all the way to the 21st of April, the sun rises in the constellation of Aries while the sun is moving through the sign of Aries. Okay, so when the moon is moving through the sign of Aries, and the sun is rising in the sign of Aries, we have a first house event. Also, that means we have a new moon in Aries. So let's go ahead and see where we fit in here, get in here and see where we fit in here. You know, one thing that's clear to me is we're growing back into ourselves. We've successfully defended something, we've been taking some kind of action, and our higher self and primal self or our future self and current self is kind of anchoring into the physical or meeting itself, I would say. We're also becoming a little bit more worldly, whether it's we understand some of the incarnational mysteries or we're just being a little more cultural, a little bit more global. We're getting some things that we weren't before. It is a little bit more celestial, a little bit more sovereign as a citizen. We have what's called this galactic or cosmic discernment that might not have been prevalent before. Some things need to be said out loud or made known. Actions need to be kind of more direct, forward, out in front, above board, not a little quiet ask or subtle movement or maneuver or mechanism, mannerism. So there's a recalibration here. I've been getting a lot of cursory pings here, but no pops. This is talking about there's been some tricksters. People want to seem like the authentic thing, but they're doing this like me, love me, want me, pick me. Also, feigning authenticity, feigning niceness, trying to garner or manufacture some type of closeness. Now, it is to be chosen, it is to be favored, but it's also something that would be a burden because it's inauthentic. They want us to give them something. I don't know what this thing is they want us to give them. We have the Death card, Knight of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, Eight of Pentacles. So a pair of eights can be spell work. With the Death card, I'm saying it can be spell work. It can also be Shiva traditions. I'll be honest, if there's a sisterhood, a tantrika, if there is a priesthood, a brotherhood, that can be Shivite, Shivani. Yeah, Om Shivayani, Om Shivayani, Om Shivayani, Om Shivaya Yeah, Jai Jai Ma. Yeah, okay. There's some Shiva traditions here, but also when I see a double eight, man, you know what that tells me? Honey, sister, darling child, you know what that tells me? It means that there's manipulation or we're learning something from a lot of time spent. We've been spending a lot of time somewhere and we finally got a clue or something finally got made known or became clear. A pair of eights alchemically means time and indulgences. Okay, it also can talk about spell work or manipulation, some kind of tie to like wrangle or, manipulate or, you know, manufacture something. It could have been for a long time, or we might just be on the grind. So we could have been working on something for a while, especially with two movement cards here. You see? J J Ma, J Ma, J Ma, J Ma. There is some priestesshood, sisterhood with the singing, the chanting, really, the recitation. And it doesn't have to be Shivite. It can be if it's sisterhood, it's Shakti, so that could be some kind of tantrika, which might mean that there's like the Ashtamatrikas, and it would be Shivani, Parvati Shivani. I mean, because there's different chants for Durga and Chandra and all that, so I'm getting Shivani specifically because Parvati comes with the world card and the Six of Pentacles. This is Shivani. I bet you we're going to see like High Priestess of the Moon. I bet you. Now, one thing that I'm getting is that it's taken a long time for this to come out to the forefront, come out to the fore. And if this is Aries, that's Rudra Maru territory. So specifically, a lot of Shivites, especially Nilankanta, it talks about the healing and poisons and ladidas and yada yada. So Nilankanta is the purple, the blue and purple energy, the throat, the poison, the transmute. Also, Minakshi, Minakshi, which I'm getting is like the Serpent Queen, healing, poison, distilling poisons, healing from poisons. And then if it's Aries, that's the Ash Fiends, which is another healing. Okay. Yeah, because I'm getting very strong Scorpio, very strong Aries. Okay, so Aries and Scorpio is Mars, and Mars is one of the forms Shiva takes on in the physical. Shiva will emanate through the sun, but will actually manifest through Mars energy. And then Mars is what we call a lesser benefic, but functionally it's heavy karma. That's not how it's packaged, but and we have the sun energy here. And to me, anytime Shani and Saturn is here, we have Shiva and then the death card. So I'm getting some strong, okay. So just so you know, the basis of this reading is the death card, Knight of Swords, Eight of Cups, Eight of Pentacles. And I want to welcome you to the Daily Tarot Buffet brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is HMSG Priestess Abossi. I'll be your oracle today. I was sent to deliberate the findings for the transiting moon in Aries. This is during the Aries season. We will conduct this meeting as a collective reading for anyone who is watching. We have the Sun, Six of Wands, Knight of Swords, World card. So despite whatever other cards that come out, the basis of this reading is Death, Knight of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, Eight of Pentacles. When we have the Sun and the Death card, that can be Sun in Scorpio, but also, again, that's very much Shiva energy because it can mean there's some type of death. Now, without the Ten of Swords, without the Five of Swords, it doesn't actually mean a physical death, but it talks about some kind of permanent transition. It can be an ego death. It can be a change in optimism, a change in source, a change in the basis of something. And we also have Shivani here with the Death and the World card that talks about a chapter ending. Like putting a period, closing the book. Seven of Wands, Three of Swords. There's Rudra, the Chariot card. And then we have Page of Wands. So with this Chariot card, it says that in a week, something that's been pending for a few months is going to make itself known. Up to 6 weeks or so, because it's 3 fortnights. Something's been pending for a minute here. The picture's going to go away for a moment. King of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, King of Cups, Six of Cups. So we're about to enter into this sanctuary space, which is refuge and safe space. That's what sanctuary is. But also we're receiving anointing of some kind, Six of Cups. And almost as if we've been saved or redeemed or la-di-da, yada yada. There's been some divine protection around us. And some termination point of this protection is about to make itself known. With the Chariot card, this King of Cups could talk about a Cancer sun. It could talk also about a Libra rising. With this Death card, this King of Cups could talk about a Scorpio sun. Also, an Aquarius rising. With this Knight of Pentacles, the Death card could be talking about a Taurus rising. With this Knight of Pentacles, the Chariot card could be talking about a Capricorn rising. So we got some options. We're starting with some kind of transformation here. Ending, transformation, transition, irrevocable change, Death card, moving into this Knight of Pentacles. For a long time, we've been getting towards our spiritual inheritance, Ten of Pentacles. It seemed like we needed to be bestowed some type of glory, Six of Wands. And for a moment there were some terms and conditions to work out, Three of Swords. We needed to navigate the great abyss. We needed to confront or just move and weave and bob through the universe. Some kind of prickly expansion was coming, and we needed to yield towards or to whatever was put in front of us. There might have even been some kind of wounding or harsh lesson with the Three of Swords. Knight of Swords, Three of Swords means desiring that's making a motion, like some type of petition to the divine. And then King of Swords, Three of Swords, that's it's wanting something decreed, wanting something said that isn't particularly pleasant. It's literally like it's wanting a ruling of some kind. Because on our end, we're achieving some type of anointing. We were born for some type of power or privilege, Page of Wands. And on this opposing end, there's a pilgrimage here. They're rushing towards mastering their spiritual or ancestral gifts. We have the Seven of Pentacles, Four of Cups, the Devil, King of Wands, Knight of Cups, Three of Cups. Now, we do have a mitigator here for the Devil, which is the Knight of Cups. However, we have to take it both ways because we have a baneful qualifier here. So if the Devil comes up with the Moon card, with the Death card, we have to also take it negatively. Now, we do get to dissipate it because the Three of Swords is present. We would also get to dissipate it if the Two of, or Three of Pentacles is there, Two, Three, or Four Pentacles, or any court card of the Pentacles. So we have the Knight of Pentacles here. With the Chariot, it would actually mean a Capricorn rising. So talking about Capricorn season, which wasn't that long ago. It was merely a quarter ago. 3 months ago, it was Capricorn season. So maybe something's been being worked out since Capricorn season. But also, what I'm seeing here is that there was a coven taking some type of action of planting seeds, literally sowing seeds of demise, so that some kind of supreme authority would be challenged. Some type of ability to take an executive decision or to be a shot caller was challenged. Now we have a double seven here. So there's an alert. There's an alert to some type of agenda. There's an alert to some type of attack. Seven of Wands attack, Seven of Pentacles agenda. We also have one, two, three knights in a reading. We also have three kings in this reading. But with the Chariot card here, all those knights are just talking about movements that need to be made or parts of a strategy of some kind. If the Chariot card wasn't here or the Tower card wasn't here, I would say these were different people. Knights and queens always talk about people. Kings and pages, it's conditional. So since the kings are coming out with a corresponding astrological energy, it gives you information about a season or maybe a person. But we don't have an emperor or empress, and we don't have a queen. And the thing that mitigates the knight being a person is actually present. So this is saying that our lower self, or what's called our primal self, is leveling up, bossing up, handling up, but it won't show the glow up yet because there's things that we're overcoming, mainly pilgrimage. Again, another reason why she was being mentioned. We're growing up and growing out of something, getting over something, stop doing something. First thing that I'm seeing is that we are wanting to withdraw. Maybe I'm hearing the word hot-headed for some reason, I don't know, but Nine of Swords, the first thing that we're wanting to do is the rushing. Maybe we're so tunnel vision that we miss some things, or maybe we act quickly or we rush into things. I'm sure that's not for everybody. I was hearing something earlier about an Aquarius energy. Nine of Swords could be talking about that. And if we're looking back all the way to Capricorn season right now, right after Capricorn comes Aquarius season. But it can be here because what I'm catching is that it's talking about like getting ready and then being ready. And it talks about it a couple times. So really what this seems like to me with this Knight of Swords is like there was a time when we were like a novice or initiate or kind of like innocent and naive or kind of like bright on the bushy tailed or kind of brand new. And then all of a sudden we got a couple few things and then suddenly we were thrust into kind of needing to know more or being held accountable for more, being told to or left to step up, or maybe just naturally stumbling into a maturity and even for some things a mastery because we have the Page of Wands then the King of Wands. Okay, that means we go from initiate. I mean, we go from novice to master quite quickly. We have the Knight of Swords and the King of Swords. We go from initiate to master quite quickly. But wait, there's more. Then we go from the Knight of Cups to the King of Cups. So again, from initiate to master. You hear what I'm saying? We go from the Eight of Pentacles to the Knight of Pentacles. So we're working on being initiated into our material blessings. These material blessings include our spiritual inheritance. That might have been this thing all along. There was in terms of conditions placed on us receiving the spiritual inheritance. Three of Swords, terms of conditions. However, we did receive glory, Six of Wands. We did receive an anointing, Six of Cups here. Three of Cups, our cup is overflowing by design. Four of Cups, it's sitting here at the threshold waiting for us. There's just a couple few things that we need to do in order for this spiritual inheritance to come through, pull through, come hard, come harder. It seems like we got this massive action vision. We know what our duty, our dharma is, King of Wands. We understand our purpose, our calling, King of Cups. We understand our power, our authority, King of Swords. There's just a couple more movements, a couple more mechanisms, a couple more moves to make. Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, in order for all this to come in, Ten of Pentacles. We don't have the King of Pentacles yet. So that's what I'm seeing here. Vertex of Abundance is the galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. Again, as I said, my name is Serene Priestess Abossi. I'll be your oracle today. We will be deliberating any type of correlative or corresponding energy from La Vida Sibila. That's the daily oracle by Los Carabello. Any type of pairing energy will be deliberated through the minor arcana of Cosmic Coven, Cosmic Coven Tarot. That's by Lillian Lazenby over at Ripe Avocado. And we'll be imposing the guidance from Isabella Rotman's This Might Hurt Tarot, and she's at Liminal 11 Publishing. Okay, so first things first is Cancer energy. Could we have Moon in Cancer, Mercury in Cancer, or in the fourth house? Yeah. We needed to mature in several ways. We needed to first have a union with spirit, be a agent, be the hand of God, be an agent of the Lord to work for the light. And then we needed to come into awareness of how precious we were and provide aid to others. What's this Cancer energy? So we've been given an opportunity to go after money, and what we really needed to do was go after Dharma. We'll get plenty of money. It's one of those, the more people you help get what they want, we'll get what we want. And it's not a tit for tat kind of deal. It's just our spiritual inheritance will come to us when we're doing the thing we were born to do. Answering our calling, basically. We need to be working for the Lord in order for it to come in. So something happened during the Cancer full moon. We were let out of a karmic cycle. We had ties, binds to discord, meaning we were giving to knowingly, unknowingly, also completing from previous lifetimes things that were blocking us. Some of them were intentional or necessary or whatever, what have you. And it was also just like collective energy, some collective stupid, some collective hatred, some collective evil, some collective, you know, idiotas, kind of monkey see, monkey do, monkey block the other monkey from going on, becoming bigger, brighter, and better. Caterpillars yelling at the butterfly for being different, but the butterfly would, if the butterfly didn't know any better, it would want to go back and be a caterpillar again and forget that, hey, it had wings kind of deal. So at some point, yes, the old might have been comfortable, it might have been great, but who's going to say no to a pair of wings? And it might take you a week, a month, a year to realize, like, hey, I have wings that rolling on the ground as a caterpillar really doesn't serve me anymore. And then there's a detox period, letting go of all those feelings and attachments and of being a caterpillar. And then finally, you're ready to be a butterfly. It takes a minute. You go through a tremendous, immense amount of death card transformation. metamorphosis. So we had to be alone with ourselves, with our big bad self, for a good minute. So what's this devil with the Knight of Pentacles? Because we had to confront some kind of collective ignorance. That's what this devil is talking about. Yeah, mainly resentment from others, people who gossip but behind our back. They spread malinconia, malangroso. They don't particularly want goodness for us or goodness out there about us. It agitates them to see us happy, to see us celebrated, venerated, and it's just because it's a reminder to them of us possessing qualities, characteristics that they don't have. And well, blessings to their healing and exaltation. We hope that they get what they need. And it's fine if they have needs. We don't have to be the one to meet those needs. So there's also this Scorpio energy here. I'm curious what that is. Somebody also has their sun in Virgo. Let's look at that. Okay, so there's some clear medicine here. Sun in Virgo, Sun in the sixth house. We should be helping people think, and it doesn't actually mean, getting on them about it. Just put the information out there, plant the seed, move on about our business. There might be Saturn in the seventh house or in Libra. Again, that might be it. Sometimes the seed should have been planted, but for whatever reason, if you pluck out the new growth plantings to show everybody that we're gardener, nothing's really gonna thrive in our garden. And we may want all this affection, adoration, attention, appreciation, acknowledgement for being a gardener, when really the satisfaction comes from the garden blossoming and blooming, not from running around telling everybody, hey, we're a gardener, I'm a gardener, hey, we're a gardener, I'm a gardener. Sometimes people need to figure out on their own, and sometimes like recognizes like, real recognizes real. Spending all your time, energy, effort, and attention arguing with fools, explaining yourself to idiots, entertaining in the company of morons, babbling with imbeciles. It's a waste of time, hard space. It is a foolish, futile, fruitless endeavor. It will be fruitless. And it is very futile to water dead flowers, and it's foolish to water fake flowers. So that's kind of what I'm getting here. We had to have a metamorphosis. That's what this death card is talking about. There's definitely Sun in Scorpio, Sun in Virgo. More so, certain Sun in Scorpio. Let's look at that. This is where the chronic illness is, the malady, the amalato, the sickness. Desperate people, desperate and jealous people, that all we do is cater to and nurture to. We're carrying some energy. We were carrying people. And let me tell you the opposite of carrying people, cutting things off when it clearly isn't going anywhere. If we have to say something three different times to the same person, no. Same old thing, no. We can love people and also love them from afar. It's the capacity to give love, not the act of giving love, that's part of the test, part of the assessment here. Because some people will get access to us and lose access to us, and that's the thing that wakes them up. We might believe that we're quitting on people or la-di-da, yada yada. No, we're here working for the Lord. The Lord doesn't say chain ourselves to somebody. Sometimes to chastise and condemn a person and move on and move forward is all we need to do. What does that mean? Chastise them means say, hey, I need to give you some adjusting feedback, also known as critique. Condemn a person is to say, what you're doing is not in alignment. We could even use words like wrong or bad. And that's not a moral judgment, it's a value judgment. You're not meeting this level of standard. You're not hitting the mark versus saying, you're no good or there's something wrong with you. That's a moral judgment. But a value judgment is saying these standards are not being met, this agreement is not being kept, and I'm going to let you know. And then move how you move, baby. I'm just going to move out your way. That might feel like me turning my back. That may feel like you being cast aside or exiled or whatever. But there's a decorum that we maintain here. And you cannot like it. You cannot agree with it. You cannot understand it. And I cannot care. And that's all right. You want to make it something else? That's all right. You want to go shouting from the rooftops that I'm the villain in your story? That's all right. I said what I said. You did what you did. The experience was what it was. I felt how I felt and I moved on about it. You should too, boo. That's what's up. That's not going to be something that everybody can do. And those who can do, those are the elevated souls. People with something to do, people that got something to do, people that got something going on, they don't get low on the low like that. Happy people don't give in to sinking feelings. So we're moving into this kind of way of walking through the world now where we're walking through the world. And those who we see at the top are going with us to the top. And we'll meet some other people at the top that are new people. Because the message has come through and I will dance with you, not I will sit here and support you at rock bottom. There are people who specialize in serving at rock bottom that may not be our assignment. And this whole narrative about let me keep on keeping on, keep on holding on, and let me co-sign, and that's a no. Like having standards and boundaries is actually a sign of respect to the divine and a sign of respect to the calling on our life and the mission that we're here to fulfill. We have some other story until recently. Like, I'm not saying ever not being loving. Like, I'm not saying be cruel. I'm not saying be judgmental. I'm saying let people move how they move and sometimes understand that it will be eventually time to move out of their way. The way that the world is working now, especially in the spirit, is that we're going to have to offer whatever medicine that we can, and they have the chance and the option to take it or leave it. And we need to leave them where they are. Because we will see them again if we're supposed to. And it's not the right lesson if we're sitting there feeling bad for leaving somebody where they are. We're not abandoning them. They're never alone. Christ is with them. But you see, they might abandon themselves. They might not think they're worthy of Christ, which is a whole other lesson. And life itself and the universe itself and karma is going to teach them or remind them of that lesson. That's not our job. Our job is to share whatever gift we have with them and move on about our business, not to get lost behind with them and take on their karma with them. So some of these seeds of demise that are being sown here are people with resentments because they couldn't either get our love or they couldn't hitch on to our show, or they couldn't ride our coattails, or they couldn't take credit for our work, or they couldn't copy our style, or whatever little thing that slighted them, whatever little way we offended their ego. There's also Saturn and Scorpio here in the eighth house, which means fear of being vulnerable here is what specifically is being talked about. It can mean several things. It can mean a forced confrontation of one's own karma. Because it's not what's happening. We're being forced to see that we're actually pretty good. We've done a lot of the lessons that we needed to, unlike the people that we're around. And so the real lesson is to let people go or to leave them behind. That's the thing that we're having difficulty learning. To stop holding on and keeping on for people that aren't even clawing themselves. Yeah, the lesson used to be back in Capricorn season that we were trying to take people with us to the top that didn't even want to see us at the top. That was the lesson we were learning until Capricorn, until the Cancer full moon. Now that we're past the Virgo full moon, moving into this Libra full moon, the lesson is leave people where you found them a little better than how you found them, though. Leave people where you found them, however, a little better than you found them. Because we have this mindset about precious and about what's worthy and valuable. If somebody can't see value, it's not our job to tell them. You sell on benefits, not features. So when you say this is what I can offer and this is what it is and this is what it does, when they hear that this is what it does and that doesn't convert, they're not the one. What's for you will not pass you by. Another way of saying is if you say the right thing to the right person, they won't miss a single syllable of what you're saying. It's only when you're saying the right thing to the wrong person that they're going to misunderstand. And I'm saying that in a very broad sense. Sometimes it's not because you're saying anything at all. I get that. Do you? I've been hearing that song this whole reading. You better keep on keeping on. You better keep your head up high. You better work with what you got. Cause someday you will find. I don't know anything about that song. Who sings it, what the lyrics are. I'm completely, that's what I'm hearing. Yes, let's move on to the pairings. We have a double three here. So five of wands with the six of swords here. So this is passage from Hellfire. There are some of them that want clearance. They want to use you. Some of them want to be abused. Some of them want to be used. We have a king and queen of swords. Those who need to pass through will pass through, but if people are still learning karmic lessons, 501s, they're going to be stuck at the bottom. So we have a triple king here. Ace of Cups with the Queen of Cups. So these karmic lessons that people are having are blessings. And it's not our job to get in the way of other people's path. So it may be difficult for us to see somebody suffering, but that's a blessing. A karmic lesson is a blessing. They're being chastised by the divine. It's very difficult for us to understand, but a lot of these people are still going through karmic lessons, and we need to not be sitting there in our feelings about it. We'll meet again one day, but right now they're having a rainy day and we need to let them. The world is a microcosm, so reality is a construct, and we can all exist in the same plane of existence, but be operating in different vibrations. So one person could be going through destitution, another person could be in their abundance season, right? We've experienced that. We could be driving down the road very happy, and all of a sudden we run over something and think we might have hit somebody, and then we drop into the depths of hell for a second. And then we get out of the car and see that, oh, nothing is wrong, and then we're back at, on cloud nine. It's that kind of concept, and some people choose to extend that for months and months and years, even lifetime after lifetime. So we have to change the paradigm. We shouldn't want to change the world, but we should want to teach the world how to sing in perfect harmony. And those who want the lesson will be grateful when we say something. And those who argue when we say something, we should just say, oh, okay, I see you're really fixed on your idea right now. I'm going to let you have that. Have a blessed day. That's that simple. So I'm hearing sweet dreams are made of the air. Who in the mind to disabusing and travel the world and the 7 years. Everybody looking for something. Some of them want to use you, and some of them want to be abused. So, so this is for the triple queen. Oh, excuse me. Pardon. This is for the triple knight. Queen of Swords is the widow. Austerity. It's difficult to know what the truth is because with it becomes great responsibility. And whether we know it or not, people are being given a creative beginning. But with this, it's however you see it. It's the same vibration, but different manifestations according to one's frequency. So some people will see greatness and some people won't. The same person two people can experience the same exact event. Excuse me. Two people can witness the same exact event and walk away with two completely different experiences. Say there's four people all standing around a square on the ground, and in that square is written a W. One person will see a W, one person will see an M, one person will see a 3, one person will see an E. It's the same squiggles on the ground, just depends on which side you're facing it. So to sit there and argue with a person is just not it. And I'm using the arbitrary example of arguing with the people, becoming fixated and getting somebody to change or to see or to agree. No, that's not it. That's what this whole transition is, because when there's a first house event, we kind of recenter the plan. We kind of recalibrate the path that we're on just a little bit. And it happens, first of all, once a year, a big one, and then, but it does happen every 30 days or so. Any first house event is going to do that. It's going to recalibrate the path. So we have this pair of sevens here. So there is a union of some kind on the same page. And again, we need to accept and allow people to put the kibosh on their own blessings. It's not our place to teach the remedial. Those who want to be short-sighted with their blessings, we really have to let them. And it may be painful, but there's beauty and power and strength in the wisdom of letting people see the truth as they want. If we have the luxury and the privilege of having such clarity on truth, we need to let them. People will make their own karmic causes 10 of wands. They'll dig their own hole and they'll dig themselves out when it's time. And sometimes hitting a rock bottom like that is what's necessary for them. We have this pair of sixes here. Okay, so this in front of the copa. Yeah, so this pair of sixes, it really is about being chosen. So the Six of Cups, Six of Cups. Sure, so, but again, there will be people of an opposing mind. And the thing is, come through and I'll dance with you. When you work that out, you'll make it to where I'm at. I'm just going to move ahead of you on the path here. I know you'll catch up later on. That's kind of how that goes. We have a pair of eights here. Yeah. Sometimes people do need to have a rock bottom 10 of swords. It's unfortunate because they're sandwiched in between the gift of their heart's desires and a creative new beginning, but they're also going to choose to get to hell for whatever reason. Sometimes it's they want to take the easier wrong versus the harder right. And that's just the thing. In life, you get to choose your pain. You can deal with the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. You don't get to go through life without hardships, but you do get to choose your heart. That's just what that is and how that's going to be. Two of Wands is what came for babies. Yeah, sometimes people reject love or reject truth. I don't understand it either, but it does happen. Okay, baby, so let's not worry about them. Let's not worry about that. Want to leave you. Want to be you. Yeah. When people want to work with us, we have plenty to work with. When they want to la di da and yada yada, let them be la 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 fa la 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 la. Okay, so it's been an honor and pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. This was a reading about a realignment in our path. It was very clear. Okay, I'm going to say next steps here. This was a reading about an alignment in our path. It was very clear that we need to act with an open heart. That's mainly what this shift and transition is. It might seem like we're uppity. It might seem like we think we're holier than thou. It might seem like we think we're better than anyone and everyone. But we really just want to go with what vibrates with our own frequency, energy, vibration. People are going to fall where they fall. People are going to end up where they end up. We don't have to go around bashing people over the head with the truth and salvation and redemption and whatever, what have you. We have to have a little bit of a detachment, and sometimes we have to withdraw. And it's unfortunate. We'll let people know that the door is open, and honestly, they'll walk through when they come through, and when they come through, we will dance with them. Come through, and I will dance with them. But until then, there is a collective ignorance, and that's what the devil card is. It's falsities, ignorance, illusions, okay, and fear. And that's why the beings that are in purgatory are trapped in purgatory, because they are refusing to face their own truths. That's the truth of the matter there. So remember that. We're moving from a path of, like I said, after Capricorn season, it's no longer about trying to get people to cross the road with us, to cross the river with us. Now we tell people the truth and they take it or leave it, and that's just that. All we need to do is love, and all we need to do is share our gift. And then that's it. Nothing else is required from us. Before, we had to recognize that there were people that didn't want to see us do well, that didn't want to see us make it out. Now that's kind of fine. We've learned that lesson. Now the lesson is stop trying to save people. They'll save themselves. And yeah, sometimes they need a wake-up call. Sometimes they need an angel, God send me an angel from heaven above. Send me an angel to heal my broken heart of being in love. All I do is cry. Yeah, I'm totally getting them 90s ballads, or what is that, early aughts? Send me an angel, wash a tear from my eyes. Oh, Angel Perez. Yeah, so sometimes people do need an angel to be sent to them. That's the thing we need to understand. Sometimes people do need an angel to be sent to them. However, those people will be ready to hear what we have to say. We're no longer learning the lesson of some of these people that we're trying to save, they really don't mean well for us, and we got to let them go. Now it's no longer about letting people go. It's about not holding on. And that's a different lesson. Letting people go means recognizing that there's evil in our midst, that there's hidden enemies and open enemies and evildoers and sinister and wicked and orchestrations, machinations. That was back during the Cancer full moon, back during Capricorn season. Now in Aries season, on the way towards the Libra new moon, which is about in a month. The Libra full moon, which is in about a month. We're learning we can't save everybody. It's not about letting them go. It's about leaving them where they are. Because they'll catch up and wake up when it's time. And if they really need an angel, if we're their angel, they will quickly incorporate whatever we tell them when we share our gift. That's all we have to do is share our gift. Whatever we are, whether it's channeling, whether it's healing, Reiki, whether it's sound healing, whether it's, spinning that knowledge, whether it's giving them an hour in our chair as their hairdresser, whether it's giving them a ride as an Uber, as a Lyft, whether it's delivering their food and telling them that their smile is beautiful as their DoorDash, whatever. All we've got to do is share our gift because like recognizes like and real recognizes real. That's it. That's all. So it's been an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing the pleasure to do so. Go ahead and smash that like button if anything I said resonates deeply with you. Comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book confession, send a donation. Just a quick prayer to all those still lost out there, to illusion, delusion, confusion, lost in the seas of time, trapped somewhere in the matrix, yet to heal, yet to awaken, yet to return to the resplendent grace of the divine in unconditional love and universal oneness. Ho'oponopono. We love you. We're sorry. Please forgive us. Thank you. We pray that your steps are ordered, your path illuminated, and that you find salvation and redemption in this lifetime. May you be happy. May you be whole. May you be well. May you be at peace. May you receive everything you ever wanted, starting with what you deserve. Until we meet again, namaste, dandavat, and ashe, sayonara, das vidanya, avidazing. Take good care. Bye-bye.